What's going on, Jerome's beautiful Monday, birds are chirping and stuff, and it's time for another Vikings news dump. So finally, mercifully, only 10 days away till the 2025 NFL draft. There's been two players drafted number 10 overall in Vikings history. 1982 linebacker Jeff Seaman, coming out of Stanford. That wasn't even intentional. Born in Rochester, Minnesota, and 11 seasons, 4-time Pro Bowler, just a rock solid, racked up and stacked up middle linebacker for the Vikings. 5-0. It's good to go. 2024 quarterback J. McCarthy. Jonathan James McCarthy. All right, so again, it's been a while. It's been a while since we had a future franchise quarterback in our midst, and I know Teddy would have been something if his leg didn't socially distance from his body. I know that Christian Ponder could have been something if he was drafted in the 4th round and given time to develop. I know that Dante would have gotten his roll on if he didn't wreck his knee. It is what it is. But J.J. McCarthy, as we said before, best situation for a first-time starting quarterback in NFL history. He's got a revamped line. They can run the ball. All the weapons in the world. World-class coaching. Let's go. Let's go, man. Love to see that. Also love to see April Draft Month fundraiser. All Venmos, Cash App, Super Chats donated to the show will go towards Twin Cities and Seoul, South Korea adoption charities and support organizations. And as we said, I'm adopted. And there's a lot of streamlining that's needed in the process. You know, it's a topic for another day, but people need help and resources, and any way to pay it forward, something that I truly believe in. Thank you very much for the Jeromes, absolutely rocking it. Our goal for the month, 2,500, currently at just over 1,500, so you guys are crushing it. And the rest of the month, as well as the draft, I mean, we're going to have to just raise that up a little bit. So again, thank you so much. You guys are absolute rock stars. Love the Jeromes. Also love, so bit of a departure. Wolves got it done at home against the Jazz. First round matchup against the Lakers, which stole the original Minneapolis Lakers. There's no lakes in LA. There's just a man-made river that's always dry. It's okay. Anthony Edwards leading the NBA in three-pointers, shooting 40%. Ooh. Alive for number 5, baby. That's right. And I do think that the Wolves are going to poop in the punch bowl for the 3-seed Lakers. Just bring it on. And the Wolves, if they're not busy beating themselves, they could beat anyone in the league on a given night. And I think that they could make a serious run. And last year was obviously a ton of fun. Nuggets Game 7, all that stuff. But came up short against Dallas and stupid Luka. And now we get to punch stupid Luka right in the face again with the Lakers this time. It's going to be good. Also good. So I'm not much of a golf guy, but I do know that Rory, so he got the Grand Slam. It was very tedious. So it looked like he was pulling away, and then he blew the lead, and then he came back and beat Justin Rose in overtime, which I was confused because I was told under the new rules that both teams get the ball in overtime. Yeah. But to put this in NFL terms, it's like if the Falcons blew 28-3, but then ended up winning in overtime. That's exactly what happened with Rory McIlroy. So, congratulations. I don't know. At a certain point, when do I start liking golf? So, I enjoy playing golf intermittently. I was never that good of a driver. I could always chip and putt, which is like the name of the game. I feel like there is going to be a pickleball version of golf coming up. Right, so pickleball is a craze all over the place because it's basically tennis for old people, right? I think that there will be a huge influx of par 3 courses, right? And because people, they obviously love golfing, par 3 courses take up less land. They have less overhead as well. I think that there's going to be a market coming up for par 3 courses. It's true, and because people want to get their steps in. They need to get their steps in, but walking a 9-hole or 18-hole course, regulation size, maybe it's a little bit much, but it's coming. It's coming. And also, the golf tour where they're in like the arena and stuff with the crowds, I feel like that there's a market there. I feel like golf might take off. Who knows? Anyways, back to the Vikings, because apparently this is a Vikings channel, but Jonathan Greenard doing work, so posting social media clips basically every other day, out there getting after things. And that's the thing about Greenard, is that he's a leader, not so much like rah-rah, sis boom bah, pregame speech. He's a super funny dude. It definitely shows up in the clutch moments, but also work ethic wise, busts his ass. And the funniest thing from training camp last year, so Jonathan Greenard, he threw up, and they were doing like 11 on 11. So he threw up, and he was lined up over Brian O'Neill, basically as like a 5-tech, like over his shoulder. So he threw up, and then he got down in the stance again, and then he shifted to the left like a yard and a half. So he was a wide 9 because it's just I don't want to line up in my own sick. It's kind of funny, man. But yeah, Jonathan Greenard definitely busting his ass. Going to build on last year's Pro Bowl season, and I think that Greenard has a chance to do really great things here in the great state of Minnesota, especially now that you got Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave helping him with the pass rush. Let's go, man. Other side of the line. So Tyler Booker is a little bit of a polarizing prospect for the Vikings. Now, Booker doesn't necessarily check the box in terms of an uber athlete that you want for outside zone. But as we said before, maybe the Vikings are slowly trending into a bit more of a hybrid running game, mix of zone and gap, or full-on gap. Just take it back to the Adrian Peterson O-lines from back in the day, right? Anthony Herrera getting after things. But Booker, high character, high football IQ guy, and testing wise, like, it doesn't tell the full story, right? And Booker at Alabama, where they did mix in a lot of zone concepts, like, I feel like he would not be a liability if the Vikings go this route. Now, preference wise, for me, he and Jackson are pretty close, even though Donovan Jackson obviously has way more outside zone experience, probably better suited for it. But just in terms of a rock solid pass protector, where he's going to have the anchor for days. You're not going to have to worry about him. He can still pull with a plum, as part of the man gap thing. Like, he does have decent feet, not great, but decent. And then last year, 86.5 PFF pass block grade, which is good. 2 sacks allowed on 135 pass snaps in the big bad SEC West. 1.6% pressure rate for his career. Also, I know that they had a lot more RPO concepts last year, but it's not like they're running this Lulu offense with Saban was there. Like, it was, in general, a very pro-style offense, right? So you don't have to worry about Alabama offensive linemen generally transitioning to the NFL, right? Because sometimes it's really difficult to project Tennessee offensive linemen to the NFL because of the offense that Heupel runs. And initially, like, the air raid offenses were tough too, is that you would see these offensive tackles notably with very low pressure rate numbers, but then you forget this, the ball is just getting out like this. So, I don't know. 2-time first-team All-SEC, first-team All-American, which is great. And Booker, positives, massive, dense build with good arm length, a very good play strength, comes at the ball square, blah, 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 blah. Bull rush with a stout, firm anchor, punishing, heavy-handed demeanor, et cetera, et cetera. So he's got all the nastiness to his game, and I've gone back and forth because I would still consider him a first-round pick. And say the Vikings are on the board or on the clock at 24. Zabel's gone. Maybe he went to Seattle. Harmon's gone. Maybe he went to Pittsburgh or wherever. I would still consider Booker, but yes, try to trade down. You could probably get him at late first, maybe early second. But I mean, Tyler Booker, in my mind, is still a set it and forget it type guard. And I know that I'm crushing on a lot of these guard prospects. Zabel's kicking inside. You got Donovan Jackson. You have Tyler Booker, obviously, as well as Tate Ratledge, I feel like, is underrated. So I think that there's going to be some dudes there. And just don't I feel like we're still caught up in the outside zone thing, but at a certain point, maybe Kevin O'Connell's just like, F it, right? Because, yeah, he does come from the McVay-Shanahan tree, which has a lot of outside zone concepts, but maybe he's just freaking sick of it because, conversely, pass protection-wise with these undersized offensive linemen, that dog ain't going to hunt. So maybe just like, we are getting guards with freaking gravitational pull. We're getting 320-pound guards across the board, and we're going out and getting. Will Fry's pretty light, but yeah, man. But also, the fact that Booker's played extensively left guard at Alabama, just slide in, set and forget it. Let's go. Also, one of my favorites that people have issue with, Andrew Mukuba, down to the wick. So, Mukuba, one of my favorite safeties in this class. He is a little bit undersized at 5'11", $186. Former Clemson Tiger, spent a year with the Texas Longhorns last year. 401 coverage snaps, 76 yards allowed, 0 touchdowns, 12.1 quarterback rating allowed when thrown at, which is good. 89.7 coverage grade as well. So he and Jahdae Barron were just patrolling that secondary, man. A big part of Texas' success on defense. And I don't care. I don't care that he's undersized. I don't care that his play style may put his health in jeopardy. He's got the heart of a warrior, man. Just absolutely pound for pound. He and Billy Bowman, just come on. I kind of want them both. Like, can we do that? That'd be fantastic. But love me some Mukuba. Lastly, so talk about the quarterback 2 spot. And this is interesting from Greg Bell of the Seattle Tribune. Drew Lock's comeback, Seahawks signing puts Sam Howell future in doubt. So when we did up our piece over the weekend about tradable backup quarterbacks, we didn't have tradable backup 2s because teams are very reluctant to give up their backup quarterback. So we focus on 3s, and Howell is probably the most experienced quarterback 3 in the league right now. He's up there, right? This is what Greg wrote. Locke's return puts the 24-year-old Howell's future with the Seahawks in doubt. The starter and league leader in interceptions in 2023 for the Washington Commanders, Howell was alarmingly inaccurate during training camp last summer. Then in the only chance he had to play for Seattle in the game that counted to 2024, he played poorly. He got rushed in unprepared to replace the injured Geno Smith against Green Bay in December. Howell held onto the ball too long that night. Anytime you hold onto the ball more than 0.0001 seconds with the frickin' Seattle offensive line is too long. He hesitated while completing just 5 of 14 passes for 24 yards, Seattle's home loss. It helped eliminate the team from the postseason for the second consecutive year. So all that is blah, 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 blah. But Kevin O'Connell, he doesn't focus on the negatives. He focuses on what a player can do. And Slinging Sam Howell can friggin' sling it. Right, 5th-round pick, North Carolina. He was the Tar Heels quarterback before Drake May took over. And, yeah, he did lead the league in interceptions in 2023 with 21 with the Commanders. Eventually, obviously, they moved on with Jane Daniels. But Howell, I feel like Howell is fixable. He's got some decent mobility, as well as he was inaccurate in Seattle. But I feel like there's definitely moments of him with the commies, right? And there's certainly a gunslinger mentality, but with Howell, I feel like Howell is just a younger version of Nick Mullins, right? And you saw the affinity that Kevin O'Connell had for Nick Mullins, and the fact that Howell does have a pretty extensive starting experience for a player heading into year 4 who was a day 3 selection. I think that this makes sense. Plus, he's not going to cost a lot. Like, probably going to be a draft pick swap. Like, maybe the Vikings swap their 6 for Howell and the Seahawks 7th round pick or something to that nature. So I would say go for it, because even if it doesn't work out, Howell's heading into year 4 of his rookie deal. So it's whatever, right? So add Howell, give yourself some insurance and some options. You could still add Tannehill after the draft if you don't draft a quarterback. You can still draft a quarterback even with Howell in the mix. And Brett ripping ass. So go from there. So I'm an advocate for Sam Howell. It doesn't hurt that he's half Korean. We're going with that. Anyways, that's it. That's it. Vikings news dump for this beautiful, glorious Monday. You guys are the best you know what to do. Skol, production value.